This is what I do, guys. This is my secret to advancing to that next level. What I did from intermediate level to now more advanced judoka in literally 6 months. It's not that complicated. It's just really just being consistent. I throw this guy 100 times a week, and I go to judo practice twice a week, and I hit the gym 3 to 4 times a week. So I'm training like pretty much 5 times a week. But this isn't all you should be doing. If you want to be an advanced athlete, you should be really technical, but also have judo strength. You should be weight training. So make sure you watch to the end, because I'm going to show you exactly how you should be training in the gym with weights to get that extra advantage on the mat. Guys, this is absolutely the secret to my improvement alone. Obviously, you train in a dojo whenever you can, but some of us don't have the privilege of doing that. This guy's all beat up. I literally took his spinal cord out, which was like an old bow and arrow thing. But when you don't have a training facility as close to you or access to it, and you still want to improve, what are you going to do? A winner's mindset is finding a way around it. Finding a way to make it happen versus becoming a victim to their circumstances and letting their circumstances determine their success. So what do you do when you don't have a partner? Invest in a grappling dummy. I literally always put links in a description for you guys to purchase the ones that I recommend. What are you going to do if you can't afford a dummy? Well, I also put links for resistance bands that I recommend to work on your entries, your uchikomis, and your rotations, so you guys start getting the hang of things on your own. But yeah, man, my experience, I dedicate 2 days out of the week to throw this guy 50 times. Quick workout, literally takes 20 minutes to do. As long as I don't screw around, I'm back to back throwing him, I'm not wasting time, and it's a good workout too. And the beauty of the dummy, man, is the more reps you do, the better you get, because you start discovering through your own trials and errors of throwing him little mistakes that you were committing before when you're throwing actual partners at practice, how to improve on it. For example, mine, for the longest time, I had this bad habit of entering my uchimata like this. I'd always have my left foot in front of my right. Ouch. And it would cause like a mediocre lift, and it just wouldn't work as efficiently until I learned at practice that you have to literally, with uchimata, for example, you got to replace your right foot with your left. Like your left foot should step exactly where your right foot did in the entry. Or don't beat yourself up if it doesn't, but by training to do this, and it looks like this. So it's like you got to replace it. If you're stepping deep, well, I'm gonna slip. Ah, man, this pole is sharp. I gotta buy a new dummy, man. I'm gonna injure myself. I gotta be careful. But basically, you gotta replace it and like step super deep. But it's gotta be like one motion, so it's like that. And you can practice lifts. But obviously, most of the time I don't even get it that right. So I would say as long as you're stepping within an inch from your right foot like that, you'll still get an amazing lift. So don't beat yourself up, but you always want to train to get as close to that planting foot as possible. But just little details like that you otherwise wouldn't have discovered by not training on your own. So like anally about details. And I think the dummy, other than in-person judo training, if you have a partner to throw around after practice, great. But if you don't have that privilege, the dummy is your best next thing. And if you don't have a dummy, your next best thing is investing in resistance bands that are super cheap, guys. Come on, like how cheap are you? Go to my description, there are a bunch of links to buy them on Amazon. If you don't have that, if you're literally that broke, then just work on shadow uchikomis. It's like, you know how shadow boxers like warm up with shadow boxing and stuff like that? Well, in my opinion, a judokas would be like shadow entries, like practicing your shadow entries, like your uchimatas, your tayos, seonages. Just getting to the rhythm of things, getting used to the movements. It's better than nothing, you know? If you're really that dedicated and you want to get better at your skills, you got to be doing something. Don't just wait around for practice to come around like what, 2-3 times a week. You're not going to get better just going to practice 2 times and that's all you're doing. You're not strength training. You're not working on your technique at home. You're not throwing a dummy, figuring out how to get better, what parts of your technique are lacking. You can't always rely on an instructor to tell you what to do. Because half the time, a lot of these black belt instructors are out of shape and they already lost like 50% of the technique they were able to do when they were in their 20s. So yeah, we get rusty. Even the best of us, it's like Just freaking train. It's like, even the best of us, like Olympic guys, when they're retired and they haven't been doing judo for like the past 20 years, honestly, I would personally rather trust somebody who's not an Olympic athlete, but who's still, I would personally rather trust a guy who hasn't competed Olympically or at a high level, but who's like maybe 20 to 30, but he's actively living the lifestyle. He's training every day. He knows the nuances, he knows the little details of what to do, versus a guy who like competed in the Olympics of like, I don't know, 1980s or whatever, and he hasn't been training judo consistently for like the last 19 years. Yeah, he was good back then, but a lot of time we're human. We forget if we're not constantly like working that muscle memory, you know what I mean? So like, always trust people who are always living and practicing what they preach every day, not just a decade ago. Because it's like me, maybe 5 years ago, I was an expert at getting from 30% body fat down to 10%. But then 5 years after that, I slacked off with diet and I don't care. And now I gained like over 10% body fat and I'm like 25 right now. Who would you rather trust? Me, who's now 25% body fat, or somebody who just learned under a year how to get to 10% body fat and is currently 10% body fat? I don't know. People might have conflicting opinions and disagreements on that, but it's whatever. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much my secret. That's what I've been doing really lately. The last like year and a half, man, is training with the dummy. That's like my main thing. I do that twice a week, 50 throws, going to practice minimum twice a week on top of a 9-to-5 job. Full-time, guys. I work 40 hours a week, no excuses, and I still go to the gym. In fact, I'm gonna hit a lower body workout right now. After a 50 throw warm up, I'm gonna head to the gym, do some kettlebell work. Pretty much what I do. I usually warm up before going to the gym with this guy, and I go to the gym like 3 times a week. I'm probably gonna start going 4 times just because I hate doing full body workouts. But yeah, if you're the guy who kind of resonates with this message, you're kind of juggling your full-time job and trying to find ways to improve judo on your own and not always rely on going to the dojo because it's tough, maybe it's far. You can't always make it, but at least you're going like 1 to 2 times a week. But you're ambitious, you want to improve, and you're willing to invest in yourself and do what it takes to get there. I have a coaching program opening up for you that I really believe you will benefit from. So go ahead and shoot me a DM if you're interested at Joey Gonzalez, or you could book a call, a free call with me in the description. If the link's not working, DM me on Instagram because it might not be working. But anyways, this isn't it. This isn't all you should be doing if you want to be a top athlete. If you want to be a top athlete for judo, I recommend getting into strength training. So watch this video where I go over the best strength training workouts you should be doing to reach next level as a judo athlete. I'll see you there.